Samuel, how long will you mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? He says, how long will you mourn for the previous generation, or hoping for somebody to bring a change? Are you guys with me? How long will you mourn when in fact there is a new person or a new generation that is rising up? How long will you mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? For your horn, fill your horn. Say with me, fill your horn with oil. He says, get up, Samuel. Stop crying about the one that is lost or that has not made it in. I have placed my anointing upon another generation. I have set a solution. When God gives you an anointing, it is a solution for a nation or a people. It is an answer for somebody's problem. Are you guys with me? Listen to this. Fill your horn with oil and go. I am sending you to Jesse the Bethlehemite. Next verse. For I have provided myself. So I have provided myself. Myself a king among his sons. And Samuel said, how can I go? If Saul hears it, he will kill me. A previous generation will always want to kill any upway or another generation being anointed. A lot of people can speak a lot of things about other ministers. But because I've been in the secret place, or I carry the anointing, I know that people can mock this person or that person, but yet I see the gift on them. He will kill me. But the Lord said, take a heifer with you and say, I come to sacrifice. Now God is saying to him, listen, go lie to him. And I'm serious. Are you guys with me? And he's saying, let's not make it a lie, so say that you actually are going to sacrifice. But let's do an excuse. I've lied to many people by the dimension of 1 Samuel 16 verse 2. Okay. Next verse. Then invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show you what you shall do. You shall anoint for me the one I name to you. He tells Samuel what to do, and Samuel is doing it wrong. Are you guys with me? We think Samuel is a great prophet. He is. Every word he speaks did not fall to the ground. But he failed to hear God in this. Because God said, I will name the one to you. God didn't name it to him, or he didn't hear it. So either God is a liar or Samuel didn't hear. So Samuel did what the Lord said and went to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming and said, do you come peaceably? And he said, peaceably, I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice. Then he consecrated Jesse and his sons and invited them to the sacrifice. So it was when they came that he looked at Eliab. So he came in front of David's brothers. Are you guys with me? He looked at Eliab. And I'm not going to get into the meaning of the names and etc. And he said, surely the Lord's anointed is before me. Meaning David came, Jesse lined up his sons like this. All David's brothers except David's. Are you guys with me? Say, but let us just, there's one that we just put, we don't want this one to be seen. It's that one whom God has anointed. Why? David was in the secret place, being with the sheep, worshiping God with his harp. Are you guys with me? So it was when they came that he looked at Eliab. So Samuel looked and he said, this is the one whom God has anointed. If Samuel can make a mistake, what makes you think that you will know exactly who's a right preacher and a wrong preacher? So Samuel looked at Eliab and he said, I think this one will go. The great man of God, Samuel. Next verse. But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance. or at his physical stature, because I have refused him. Say with you, refused him. The actual word there means I have rejected him. Meaning, I have looked at him as a participant. And I've looked at him as an option. But there was something about him that didn't touch me. And I've rejected him in the process. And then I looked at the other one. And I've rejected him. Are you guys with me? For I have rejected him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. Say with me, see as man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Very important. Say with me, the voice of your heart. Say, the voice of my heart. God listens and looks at the voice that is speaking, which is your heart. He's not looking at an external voice that is talking. He's looking at the motive of the heart. Just the fact that Jesse's sons were there waiting and they knew their brother was not there describes and manifests their motive. Are you guys with me? It reveals their motive right there. Because they knew, okay, luckily that one is not here, so because they would have seen that he maybe is an anointed one. So maybe we have still an opportunity. And God looks at the heart. So Jesse called Abinadab and made him pause before Samuel. And he said, neither has the Lord chosen this one. Then Jesse made Shammah pass by. And he said, neither has the Lord chose this one. Thus Jesse made 7 of his sons pass before Samuel. And Samuel said to Jesse, the Lord has not chosen these. And Samuel said to Jesse, are all your young men here? Then he said, there remains yet. Now please understand, God said, I will tell him by name. Samuel is not getting David by name. Are you guys with me? So if we as prophets miss it, give us a break. When Samuel, who changed the dispensation of the prophetic, he changed the whole area. Meaning, before him, prophets were called seers. He changed the whole system of prophets. He was the first one that was a prophet over other prophets. He stood as prophet over other prophets. When he walked into a city, people would fear. Are you guys with me? There remains the youngest. Jesse is saying, and there he is keeping the sheep. And say with me, keeping the sheep. One of the first rules of the anointing is somebody able to look after people or pastor them. So when people come and they want to be anointed, you know, some people have the audacity to even say after the service, no, they believe God has called them here to worship. And we'll just say, look, it doesn't work like that yet. That is, it doesn't work like, when I say, it's okay if God has called you to worship, but don't say, when can I worship? You will stand there and crumble. If I give you that, let me save you the embarrassment. Are you guys with me? You guys came from another church. You were worshiping by another church. Do you sense the anointing on the stage here? Eh? It's not something where you can just trust me. If you want to see your life crumble, just hold this microphone. You will have devils coming after you. Are you guys with me? When people see the anointing flow, or they don't know the price that has been paid. And I'm talking like this because I want you to get hungry and understand there's a cost to the anointing. But for you to say, I want the anointing, it is not evil to say, I want the anointing. Are you guys with me? When I was young, I ran to Benny Hinn conferences and I had this one prophesying over me. And all I wanted to be, why? I had visions of God using me. And I was so hungry after that. It's good, but God will never tell you the price. He will tell you that's what I've called you to be. But He won't tell you what you will go through. Are you guys with me? And there he is keeping the sheep. And Samuel said to Jesse, send and bring him, for we will not sit down till he comes here. So he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, with bright eyes, and good looking. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is the one. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brothers. Say with me, in the midst of his brothers. I want you to see, this is what we call the inauguration. Are you guys with me? It's the inauguration of the anointing. When God anoints you, He will do it in the midst of everybody else. And especially those who thought it is their place. Are you guys with me? So Samuel arose and went to Ramah. Now listen, what made God choose David? What made God say it is not Eliab, it is not Shammah, it is not Abinadab, it is not this one, it is David? What made God look at David? Say with me, the heart. The heart speaks a voice, while your flesh can speak a voice. You can pray and speak a voice, and your heart can speak a different voice. You can fast and speak a voice, and your heart can speak a different voice. What is the motive? Are you in this thing for money? Are you in this thing because I want to be seen? Are you in this thing because you crave the adoration or the praises of people? Or are you in this thing because you love God and you love people and you want to be used by God? Because you want to just be hearing the words, well done, good and faithful servant. When that is the motive, and everything will come against your life to test it. Are you guys with me? To test and put you to the test and fire. To see, are you able to stand to that place that I've called you? Are you guys with me? Why are people not being used? Say the heart. Why are people not being blessed? The heart. Why is it that some can pray and fast for a week and not experience God, and somebody else just, you know, they just say one little prayer and God blesses them, or God chooses them, and or some don't even ask for it and God moves on their behalf, because the voice of their heart spoke something which is pure.